Hey everyone, so I've been seeing a lot on Twitter and or YouTube about how Ethereum or ADA are about one or two cycles behind Bitcoin, and I just wanted to give my own take on that. So, what they mean by a cycle behind is basically this is currently the fourth cycle of Bitcoin, and people are basically saying Ethereum currently is doing what Bitcoin did on the third cycle, and ADA is doing what Bitcoin did on the second cycle. So they're each behind one cycle. So just to compare the two, I just wanted to pull up these charts, and I personally think that there's a lot of merit to this. I think it makes a lot of sense. Um, well, because if you look at it from a network effect standpoint, Bitcoin has been around a lot longer. So they do and they should have a more established network effect. So basically, if you go back to kind of like this is Bitcoin's second market cycle. And so you could see this is like kind of like a visual episode. So you guys probably have to like, eye in into what I'm pointing at with my mouse. But basically, it's the idea that at first Bitcoin was very like stepwise. It made a big jump forward and then plateaued and it jumped again, like very like it looks like a step, right? It's not like it's like this is one two big motions and not a very smooth out motion. And if you look further into what Bitcoin does later on, right? This is way smoother, right? So that's basically the idea, comparing this to that and what we're doing now. It's not as smooth as this, but we're not having some very distinct step patterns. Basically, that's what people are saying. So look at Ethereum, what it did 2017. Ethereum basically did these big step motion moves like how Bitcoin did. So you got to look at the time frames down at the bottom. This is currently Bitcoin would be doing its third cycle, right? So and this is what Bitcoin did the cycle before that. So you can see how pretty similar it is, right, to this and to this. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is smoothing out. So if this theory is kind of true, then we could say, hey, so maybe Ethereum will smoothen out this cycle. And it sort of did. It's not as smooth, maybe. It's arguably still a bit of a step because we consolidated for so long. But it's nothing so dramatic as this where we just kind of go straight up, consolidate, and then go straight up again. This is kind of more of a more gradual move. It still rapidly went up or appreciated, but just not as crazy as it did back over here. So basically, we're just trying to make the argument that Ethereum right now is doing what Bitcoin did in its last cycle, the third cycle. And so more proof of this, I think, is that ADA is doing what Ethereum did the cycle before. So Bitcoin's second cycle, Ethereum's first cycle. So if we go look at what ETH did, very stepwise, like I said, and look what ADA is doing right now. It's very it's very stepwise, similar to that. So yeah, it seems like ADA is a cycle behind ETH. If we look at Solana, it's clearly like a lot like what ETH did over here, which was, as crazy as this move looks, it's not that crazy considering a lot of cryptos did something similar like years before in a similar fashion. And you might think this can't go on, is going to pull back, and it probably will, or at the very least consolidate for a little bit, but I do think Solana could go up way, way, way higher. I was just an idiot that didn't get in because I didn't want to FOMO in, and plus because I just didn't have the extra capital to get in. So, and then also I thought something very interesting. So before I move on, so that theory, like Ethereum is basically a cycle behind Bitcoin and ADA is a cycle behind ETH. I think it does have a lot of merit, right? So basically, I do hear people saying like, okay, so if that is true, that means Ethereum will kind of go to like $15,000, $17,000, like what Bitcoin did in the cycle before, if this theory holds true. And I have some arguments against that, actually, because remember the price is not what's important. The actual like really good like label of how big, or like, you know, just a more accurate way of measuring these coins is market cap, which is basically how much money, like what is Bitcoin worth, like how much money is inside Bitcoin right now. So basically that's what market cap is. And then if you look at the chart here, look at what Bitcoin's market cap peak was before it fell, 326 billion. If we look at Ethereum's right now, it's way higher, right? But then it's kind of around that range. I'm not saying like we're gonna peak over here, but I am saying there is some similarities. Well, like people are saying, okay, well, Ethereum is gonna, what is ETH right now? 3,500. So if ETH goes to like 20,000, that is a, let me do that math real quick. I got screwed by mosquitoes yesterday, and I got so many fucking mosquito bites. So annoying. It's fucking hell. Okay, so anyways, that means Ethereum can go up by like 5.7 times. So that means this market cap will have to be around 2 trillion. Meanwhile, if Bitcoin goes up to where we think is pretty accurate, looking at this chart, so like we were talking about how Bitcoin's market cap is probably going to be around, you know, let's say it's like around 150, 160 when it does. So that'll be like basically three times what it is right now. So then that means Bitcoin's market cap is going to be 886. Jesus, I'm terrible. I can't do this in my head. So Bitcoin's market cap is going to be 2.6 trillion, and then you're going to tell me Ethereum's market cap is going to be around, you know, 2 trillion, like pretty similar amounts. I just don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Ethereum's market cap is going to be, you know, so close to Bitcoin so soon. So, you know, I think when we do these price projections, we should definitely look at these market caps. So we look at where Cardano is right now, is at like 80, 90 billion. So we look at Bitcoin's past, like 80, 90 billion would be like over here, way back here. And to say like ADA can go to 300 billion is kind of insane. That would mean, what is that? That's kind of like a 3-4x in price. So yeah, I hear a lot of people saying that we could get a $10 ADA. So I mean, I guess if we do that, that means we'll be following what Bitcoin did last cycle, like pretty accurately based on just the market cap. And so like, yeah, maybe. But then if you look at the market cap, it's just like, I don't know. When we start getting in the trillions, it's getting kind of insane. And then Solana's at 57 billion, and I know this looks like super like insane, it's crazy, but if we just look at like Ethereum's 57 billion, well, if you could look at the screen very carefully, 57 was like right here for Ethereum way back in 2017, and it went all the way to like 132 billion super easily. Same thing for Bitcoin, it went from like 57, right, something like way down here, all the way to like 300 billion. So I don't think it's too late for Solana. This could potentially still have another 5x, 3x in it, but I just want to get it at a good price. I don't want to fucking, because it plateaus like how we saw over here. Like it goes in these little moves and plateaus and stuff like that. So anytime we get some sort of price action like this in Solana, I'll know like, hey, okay, now's a good time to get in and stuff like that. Because this is just crazy. I want to get in at least when it's a red candle for the week. So, what's the moral of the story? I don't know. I was just trying to say, like, when I hear all of these, like, it is very surprising to me how people can dump a lot of money into crypto but not know a lot about crypto. They don't even know like what the basics are of a blockchain, or what Ethereum is, what Bitcoin is and what tokens are and stuff like that. Like people just buy these things like it's GME or AMC, which I guess is fine. That's I guess how we're gonna appreciate. But this is insane. Like people don't understand that these things run in cycles, and you got to look at market cap. Like I know people that literally got into something because it was pennies and they thought that was a great deal, but the market cap was already at like a billion something. Like that's not a great deal at all. You just think they just look at the penny and like, oh my god, if Bitcoin's at 50K, well, I'm gonna make so much money. But you just look at the fucking market cap, it's not gonna happen. So it's just like if I could educate anybody about that, that would be huge, and it makes all of this so worth it. Because you could hear so much stuff on the internet saying where this can go, and everything is gonna go up like 100x. I mean, think about how hard. So if we think about Ethereum's journey, right? Ethereum went from, I don't know, what would it would go like it would do crazy shit. It would go up 3,000% pretty much, 13,000% in order for us to do something similar. So let's say this is like this, right? This is the first big step. This is the first big step. Okay. Let's say we go up another 10,000%. Do you know how insane that is? If we go up another 10,000%, that means we will have a $350,000 Ethereum. And that's not the crazy part. The crazy part would be looking at the current market cap and multiplying that by 10,000%. And right now it's at 415 billion. So you're saying that we're going to get 10,000%. What is that again? It's like 100,000. Yeah. So a 100x? Yeah, I don't think so. What is that? What is that even? I can't do the math in my head. 100x. Fucking trillion, 10 trillion. Oh, yeah, so you're saying it's going to be 415 trillion? Like, clearly that's not going to happen. Even for something like, something smaller like ADA, if you think at all, it'll go to like, I don't know, I've seen shit like people say it's going to go up to like $30, right? That's a 10x pretty much. 1,000% is a 10x. So you're saying that Cardano's market cap is going to go from 882 billion to 820 billion. I mean, like in one cycle. That's just insane. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. Of course, like this is crypto and anything can happen, but really, it would be really, really, really tough for some shit like that to happen. But, I guess it can, but I'm not trying to like, I did a poll on my Instagram recently. I asked how many of you think that crypto is going to make you a millionaire? And then I think I got 70% of all of the people who took the poll said, yes, crypto is going to make me a millionaire. And, well, the sorry truth is that's not going to be remotely true. And now I know why people said 70% of people said that, because they all think it's going to go up another 100x like it did in the past, but it's just not going to happen at this point with the bigger coins, because the market cap would just be insanely high. Like that would mean a good portion. If everything from like crypto started 100xing again, that means a massive portion of the world's GDP is just dumping its money into crypto, which at this point is probably not going to happen. So I just want to say, I don't think you should totally depend on this going up so much that you could put $100 in and become a millionaire. Please don't think that. It's not going to happen. A lot of people are like, I don't like using the word, but a lot of people are like really desperate to like have this thing work out because like everything that they have is in it. But please understand that it can fucking go down. It might not work out. It doesn't have to do anything. And if 70% of people think they'll be millionaires, it's not going to happen. Like maybe 1% of people will become millionaires from crypto. The rest of us are going to end up losing money, or it's not going to go up as much, blah, 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 blah. So play it smart. Get out. I'm going to say again what my price targets are for this cycle. For Bitcoin, it's around 150,000. For Ethereum, it's around 10,000. For ADA, it's around $6. I'm not trying to get, if we hit those points, I'm just selling a good amount of whatever I have, and I'm going to be happy with it. So I'm not expecting Bitcoin to go to a million right now, Ethereum to like 50, you know, blah, 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 blah. Basically, moral of the story is be a little conservative. Don't put everything in one basket. All right. So video is kind of long, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.